Presented by Listen Headlines. Latest financial news from trusted sources. Updating daily noontime New York City.
New York Times Business.
May 11th, 11:25 American New York. Nearly one-third of Ukraine's jobs are lost amid war, UN labor agency says. The report highlights the grim economic toll of Russia's aggression and the challenges that lie ahead for Ukraine and other nations.
New York Times Business.
May 11th, 11:20 America New York. Lufthansa apologizes after Jewish people were barred from flight. Passenger said that after landing in Germany, more than 100 Jewish people were blocked from boarding a connecting flight to Hungary. Lufthansa Airlines said it regretted blocking a large number of people from a flight to Budapest last week after a few passengers did not comply with its mask requirement.
Wall Street Journal Markets.
May 11th, 11:04 America New York. Inflation has a long way to fall to stop being a problem. Even if inflation eases in the months ahead, the Federal Reserve might not offer much to investors in the way of relief.
DailyFX Market News.
May 11th, 11 o'clock America New York. How current markets will impact traders. DailyFX exclusive Q2 forecast. DailyFX analysts give their expert predictions and their 2022 Q2 forecasts to help you with your trading strategy and analysis, minimizing risk and maximizing returns. Predictions are analysts' oath.
Global economy. May 11th, 10:46 America New York. The Bank of England should make it clear when it gives us a kicking. Society requires unelected officials to tell the public the whole truth about policy.
BBC News Business.
May 11th, 10:43 America New York. COVID mask rules relaxed for EU air travel. Masks will no longer have to be worn on EU flights and in airports from next Monday, new guidance says.
BBC News. Business. May 11th, 10:43 America New York. COVID mask rules relaxed for EU air travel. Masks will no longer have to be worn on EU flights and in airports from next Monday, new guidance says.
Marginal Revolution.
May 11th, 10:30 America New York. The new Derek Thompson project on progress. Today's piece is also an announcement. I'm launching a new project with The Atlantic called Progress, which pulls together my newsletter, monthly calls with readers on progress and the abundance agenda, and some larger forthcoming projects and events.
Wall Street Journal U.S. Business.
May 11th, 10:25 America New York. Grocery inflation reached historic highs in April, gas prices eased. Americans paid less for gasoline but more for groceries and air travel last month.
Wall Street Journal U.S. Business.
May 11th, 10:16 America New York. April inflation report cinches Fed's half-point rate rise path. Federal Reserve Chairman Jerome Powell had previously signaled plans to raise rates in larger increments in June and July.
The Library of Economics and Liberty.
May 11th, 9:59 America New York. Do all Miami locals have the same interests? Different individuals not only have different preferences or values but also, whatever the degree of equality in their society, face different circumstances. Not surprisingly, these two sets of conditions will typically imply different evaluations of specific social, including economic and political, phenomena.
Wall Street Journal U.S. Business.
May 11th, 9:35 America New York. Kohl's investors reject activists' push to overhaul board. The retailer said its slate of 13 directors were all re-elected according to a preliminary tally of votes, as the company is exploring a potential sale.
Wall Street Journal Markets. May 11th, 9:32 America New York. Philip Morris coughs up for U.S. re-entry. 14 years after it was spun out from Altria, Philip Morris International wants to get back into the U.S. market, this time with a smoke-free business.
New York Times Business.
May 11th, 9:16 America New York. U.S. inflation is still climbing rapidly. Inflation data showed a slowdown in annual price increases in April, but a closely watched monthly price measure continued to climb at an uncomfortably brisk rate.
BBC News. Business.
May 11th, 9:15 America New York. Price increases in the U.S. eased slightly in April. The cost of clothing and used cars slipped, but prices for many other items continued to rise.
BBC News Business.
May 11th, 9:15 America New York. Price increases in the U.S. eased slightly in April. The cost of clothing and used cars slipped, but prices for many other items continued to rise. Wall Street Journal Markets.
May 11. 9/11 America New York. U.S. Treasury yields climb after April inflation is higher than expected. U.S. Treasury yields climbed Wednesday after new data showed inflation in April was higher than analysts had expected.
DailyFX Market News.
May 11. 9 o'clock America New York. U.S. inflation cools to 8.3% but eases less than forecast. Nasdaq 100 sinks as yields rise. April U.S. inflation moderated on an annual basis, cooling to 8.3% from 8.5% in March, but declined less than forecast, increasing the likelihood of a more front-loaded Fed policy response.
Global economy.
May 11. 8:53 America New York. Trade policy cannot fix America's inequality problem. The Biden administration can't protect its way to prosperity in a post-industrial economy. The Library of Economics and Liberty.
May 11. 8:36 America New York. First they came for the communists. I frequently meet conservatives who defend nationalist regimes as being good for business. Next time I meet one, I'll be sure to ask how business in Russia is doing these days. Bloomberg has a good article on how Hindu nationalists are turning on India's highly successful tech companies.
BBC News Business.
May 11. 8:13 America New York. Energy firm windfall tax has not been ruled out. Officials say Rishi Sunak is still open to the idea if energy firms do not reinvest their profits in the UK.
BBC News Business.
May 11. 8:13 America New York. Energy firm windfall tax has not been ruled out. Officials say Rishi Sunak is still open to the idea if energy firms do not reinvest their profits in the UK.
DailyFX Market News.
May 11. 8:10 America New York. USD, CAD pre-CPI setup. Loonie chart analyzed ahead of the data print. With inflation expected to print lower than March's figure, markets could look for softer USD plays with USD, CAD's technical setup warranting a closer look.
Global economy.
May 11. 7:50 America New York. Tax cuts are the only tactic left to Boris Johnson. Conservatives warn that other divisive issues are a distraction from putting money in people's pockets. Marginal revolution.
May 11. 7:29 America New York. When were U.S. home prices at their worst? That of course is only one metric, and it focuses on flows rather than homes as an asset. It nonetheless puts a number of matters in perspective. Here it is in words.